I'm gonna tell you right now. This is from her father. Your bunch of lying no good punks, and I know who it's coming from because I've traced it, and you've been reported to cyber police because I've traced it. Consequences will never be the same because I've traced it, and you've been reported to cyber police because I've traced it. You'll be arrested. End of conversation. Well, guess what? My daughter's not lying, and I'm not gonna put up with any of you people's crap. If you ain't got something nice to say about my daughter, then keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. And any more of your comments and put it on there will be caught and will be bound. You will have to deal with the police, cause you done goofed. Cause you done goofed. Because I've traced it, and you've been reported to cyber police because I've traced it. Consequences will never be the same because I've traced it, and you've been reported to cyber police because I've traced it. You'll be arrested. End of conversation.
I think I gotta sneeze. Thank you.
What up, y'all?
Insisted that her death was in self-defense because she had attacked him with a knife. Tina's father was covered in blood and had cuts on his hands, which he said were defensive wounds that resulted from his daughter's knife attack.
When I reviewed a little bit of history that I knew at the time, it sounded extremely suspicious to me.
Medical examiners have long referred to the autopsy as the silent witness, a way for the victim to tell her story, things that the suspects in a crime usually leave out. At Tina's autopsy, forensic pathologist Dr. Philip Birch started his examination with a forensic technique known as wound pattern analysis.
I didn't look just at one wound in this case. I looked at all of the wounds as whole.
Tina sustained 6 deep stab wounds to the solar plexus, all in close proximity. Dr. Birch believed that any one of them could have caused her death.
The serious injuries to her were all tightly clustered right around her lower central chest and abdomen. And I was told that she was supposedly involved in a wild free-for-all type fight with a knife. And that seemed to be very odd that all of the fatal injuries were very tightly clustered within a specific area of the body.
That's because stabbing victims usually move during an attack.
I didn't feel that she was involved in a fight where she was able to move her extremities freely. That is, either she stayed stock still of her own volition for whatever reason, or she was unable to move, or she was actually restrained.
Dr. Birch's theory was supported by paramedics who said Tina's arms were above her head on the floor as if she had been restrained.
Zane couldn't have held her. He was not a big man. His daughter was probably as big or bigger than he. He could not have inflicted that kind of injury pattern on her and held her at the same time.
The only other person in the room was Tina's mother, Maria. Maria said she was on the sofa when the fight occurred, but the forensic evidence indicated otherwise.
There was body hair and blood from the girl on the insides of a white sweater that Maria had been wearing at the time. And that supported our theory that Maria was holding her while Zane stabbed her.
It went beyond self-defense. This was like driven by anger or passion or some purpose other than self-defense.
The investigators then took a closer look at the wounds on Zane's hands. Wounds that he said were defensive.
This story didn't match what we saw. It was a small, like I said, it looked like a paper cut.
I think that in stabbing her, his hands were so bloody and slippery that what really happened was his hand slipped down on the blade of the knife and cut it right across the outside of his palm, right below the little finger.
This explains why Zane's blood was found on the handle of the knife found beside his daughter. But prosecutors had a problem. Would a jury believe that a father and mother would kill their own child simply because she had an outside job and a boyfriend?
Sounds so aberrant, so strange. I mean, she was a model student. But we're talking about absolute control. Zane Issa still mentally was listening to tapes from circa 1945 in a Palestinian village, and that's the way he thought his daughter should behave.
And the FBI discovered secret information that Tina Issa may have known some family secrets her father didn't want revealed. The forensic evidence clearly showed that 16-year-old Tina Issa had not been killed in self-defense as her parents claimed. Dr. Victor Levine is an expert on the Middle East and says Tina's death sounded tragically familiar.
Zane Issa comes from a small town in Palestine, and he carried with him that whole baggage. Every day, there are dozens and even hundreds of women who are in some fashion killed for the commission of some crime involving the sexual honor of the family.
Although dating is common in the United States, it's discouraged in parts of the Middle East where arranged marriages are the norm.
When a man and his family have daughters, daughters are the purity of these women, of these daughters, that guarantees a marriage. They say, and the delivery of the girl intact, virginally intact, which then commands a higher dowry. A girl who has been violated does not command a dowry. In fact, may not be able to find a husband.
Tina's death may have been part of an old tradition, the honor killing.
She stained the family's honor, and blood, Zane would say, blood must cleanse blood.
In societies where honor killings are common, it is generally a killing done by a male member of a family, presumably to avenge a depredation on the honor of a female member of the family. She had a black boyfriend, and this was enough to cause the anger of her family and of her father to arise to the boiling point, where indeed he felt that the family had been so shamed by her indiscretion that the only way to avenge it was to kill her.
Prosecutors were convinced she had been murdered in cold blood by her own parents, but they knew a conviction would be difficult. It would be the Issa story of self-defense against the opinion of the medical examiner. But soon, investigators got an unexpected break. The FBI admitted they had wiretapped the Issa's home because of Zane's suspected ties to known terrorists.
Wiretaps were put in under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, known as FISA. FISA allows the FBI to tap wiretaps that run reel-to-reel, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Issa was not considered important enough to.
The joy of whole room freshness. Glade Plug-in Scented Oil Fan.
All around you don't even know it.
It's the only freshener to use a continuous built-in fan.
It's just there in the air.
Unlike some fresheners that seem strong just around the outlet, the Glade fan continuously circulates fragrance throughout your whole room.
This shit'll blow your motherfucking mind. Magic everywhere in this bitch.
Plug-in Scented Oil Fan from Glade. The
Pure motherfucking magic.
of fragrance.